Just Chase Menendez here. We're looking at some pretty quiet conditions here in the basin. Tower cam actually starting to bounce around a little bit. Those winds are beginning to pick up thanks to the West Texas State Bank weather cam. We've got a good live look at those conditions. Now, these strong winds are brought on by this gigantic low pressure system that's already forming, tracking into New Mexico, and eventually will be passing overhead. You can see a little bit of energy coming with that. It's already kicking off a little bit of some thunderstorm activity, but nothing severe. We're not worried about any severe thunderstorms. Hobbs, looks like you may get a pretty significant amount of rain here in just a little bit, but notice how thin that one storm is. So as soon as it passes overhead, that's about the most that we can expect as far as thunderstorm activity. But we do have a little bit of snow on the way as well. That's coming in from the west right now, making its way through El Paso. Eventually, likely to see a little bit of snowfall there for the Marfa Plateau, the Van Horn Mountains, as well as that snowfall tracks in from the west. Now, here in Odessa Midland, we're just a little bit too far to the east to expect any of that snow. If we do get any rain, it's going to be very short-lived, like that thunderstorm in Hobbs is right now. The big story, though, is that low pressure. That's going to be passing through overnight tonight, giving us a little bit of snow in the mountains and really ramping our wind speeds up. That's going to be the main feature of this low pressure. It is pretty strong, but it's not coming with enough energy to kick off any strong thunderstorms. It's just going to be very windy and a little bit cooler as well. Temperatures are going to take a small dip for the most part, but really we're just looking at that snowfall and that rain that we've got off to the north. Now, the winds are going to be pushing in from the west, pulling in some dry air. So that's about as much snowfall as we can expect. By 12 midnight, we're looking at a little bit of that snowfall there for the Marfa Plateau, the Guadalupe Pass possibly, and that's about it. Once we get to around 2 a.m., we could see a little bit of rain across the basin, and then we begin to clear out. That dry air rushing in from the west, really clearing our cloud cover out and giving us a lot of sunshine for tomorrow, but also a lot of those very, very strong winds. As we go on through the afternoon time, we'll see our temperatures pick up pretty nicely, but our wind speeds are going to stay very, very high, taking only a small dip by around 4 a.m. and then ramping right back up for tomorrow afternoon. Do look out for those strong winds. We're going to see the strongest winds, not here in the basin, but we do have a wind advisory for us issued by the National Weather Service lasting until 6 p.m. Central Time on Saturday evening. So all day tomorrow, the basin will be seeing some strong winds. But again, those strongest winds are actually going to be through southeast New Mexico, the northern basin, and those higher elevations. So if you've got a truck route, if you've got a high-profile truck, trailer, or anything like that through those windy mountain roads in the Van Horn Mountains, the Guadalupe Pass, do look out. Those winds are going to be in excess of about 70 miles per hour. Now, we also talked about how dry that air is going to be. We've got strong winds, dry air coming in, and that's leading us to some fire weather concerns. This fire weather warning issued now for parts of southeast New Mexico and the northern basin is going to be expiring at that same 6 p.m. time mark. Now, as far as those winds, they're already picking up. That is going to be the main feature of that low pressure system. Notice these pinks here at some of the higher elevations, indicating wind speeds in excess of 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour. We're going to see some very strong gusts, possibly good enough to tear some roofs off. So do be careful with these winds. It is going to be a very strong windstorm. Again, use a lot of caution if you're driving through those mountain roads, especially overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. We're not going to see these winds letting up anytime soon. And in fact, as we get to the afternoon time here in the basin, we're still looking at almost 30-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and of course gusting a little bit higher than that. Going forward from there, everything begins to clear out very rapidly. By 7 p.m., we're actually looking pretty clear. We'll see a lot of sunshine, a lot of nice warm temperatures coming our way by around that mark. So get ready for a mild Sunday, but remember, Saturday is going to be a very windy affair, slightly cooler than what we saw for today. High temperatures only picking up into the low 60s, and we can expect to see a couple of changes coming our way for next week as well. But until we get there, we've got some cool temperatures for tomorrow morning. We're dropping down likely into the 30s and then picking up near the low 60s. So it is going to be a slightly cooler day for tomorrow. Now, as far as the rest of the weekend goes, we're looking okay. 62 will be our high on Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So really not too bad. Lows staying above freezing here in the basin. We're not looking at ice, but remember, through the Guadalupe Pass, the Marfa Plateau, we could be looking at a little bit of ice overnight tonight. Not really getting a good chance to evaporate tomorrow morning. Again, if you have a truck route, do be careful through those areas, and check out those Oscars. Sunday night looks like a good night. Bundle up by that TV and watch those awards.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, better hold on to your hat tomorrow.
That's right.
A lot going on. But we warm up next week, luckily. All right, Chase, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, if you haven't filed your tax